Our topic for today is commonly used terms in disaster management. So, maraming term na hindi natin masyadong naiintindihan sa disaster, no? So, tulad ng ano ba ang disaster? So, according to the definition, okay, means a serious disruption of the functioning of a community or society causing a widespread human, material, economic, and environmental losses. No. Pag sinabi nating destruction, no, eto, yung nasisira yung normal functioning ng isang komunidad. No. Or, eto ay maraming nasira or maraming nawalan. It's either human, material, or economic na sinasabi natin. So, kung mayroong widespread na pagkasira or pagka-apekto, it will lead to disaster. No. So, tanong, si COVID ba ay isang disaster? Yes, it is a disaster because it affects many lives. No, maraming apektado. Ay sinasabi ko wala namang hindi apektado sa atin. So lahat tayo apektado. So it is a disaster. No, COVID is a disaster. Ano pa ba? Typhoons. No. Tulad ni Typhoon Haiyan or Typhoon Yolanda, Typhoon Rolly, yung mga yon. No. It is a disaster. Okay? Earthquakes. No, it is a disaster. No, hindi naman ibig sabihin bumagyo. Disaster na 'yon. No. No, it depends on the effect of that hazard. Okay? Depende sa epekto ng hazard na 'yon. Kung marami ang apektado, okay, sa hazard na 'yon or sa typhoons, sa floods, sa earthquake, no, it will fall under disaster. No, tandaan natin, no, as long as no apektado ang nakakarami, it will fall under disaster. Hindi lang naman kasi yung typhoons, yung mga nabanggit ko, typhoons, earthquakes, COVID, no, marami tayong uh, uh, possible na events na it will lead to disaster. No, as long as there is an effect to the total number of the community, no, or 50% or higher, or 30 to 40% higher will lead to disaster. Kung ganun karami yung apektado na tao, pag apektado yung pamumuhay nila, it will fall under disaster. Example is bombing. No, bombing, it will fall under disaster as long as there are 30 to 40% living in that community are affected. Okay, that will lead to disaster. Okay, next is emergency. So ano naman ang emergency? Ang emergency ba isang disaster? No. Okay, tingnan natin. Emergency refers to a sudden occurrence demanding immediate action that may due to epidemics, natural, technological catastrophes, strife, or any other human-made causes. No, this is a sudden event. Na, sudden event that needs attention or action. Okay? So, for example, may nabangga. No. So, kailangan nila ng tulong. No, there is an occurrence and there is an immediate action needed. So, that will fall under emergency. Okay? Next is disaster management. So, it means the range of activities prior to, during, and after disaster designed to maintain control over disaster and to provide a framework for helping at-risk person and or communities to avoid or minimize, recover from the impact of disaster. So, disaster management ang ginagawa natin pag unang-una prior activities before, during, and after na tinatawag natin, no? So, for example, typhoons, no? May typhoon. Now, nagkakaroon tayo ng announcement na darating si typhoon. Okay? Ito yung mga ginagawa doon sa disaster management in terms of typhoon. So, nagkakaroon ng paghahanda. No, nagkakaroon tayo ng announcement kung kailan darating yung bagyo, kung ano yung kailangan nating i-stock, saan pwedeng safe place na puntahan, saan dadaan si typhoon, yung mga yon during. Okay? Yung during management naman natin sa typhoon is actual monitoring, tapos nagbibigay tayo ng news, no, kung anong nangyayari, and naka-standby yung mga rescue operations natin sa DRRM. And after, doon na yung nagkakaroon ng relief operations, no, tapos nagkakaroon ng check-ups, yung mga yon. So, that is part of disaster management. Okay? So, meron din tayo yung tinatawag na ayuda regarding sa mga farmers, okay, para hindi magkaroon ng long effect yung impact sa kanila ng disaster. Nagbibigay sila ng mga ayuda such as yung libreng punla na pampalit doon sa mga nasira nilang pananim. Okay? So that will fall under disaster management. Okay? Then, mitigation. Okay? Refers to the measures taken in advance of a disaster aimed at reducing its impact on society and environment. Okay? So, pag sinabi nating mitigation, no, binabawasan natin yung epekto or impact ng disaster. If in case dumating yung disaster na yon, okay, that is mitigation. Okay, for example, no, sa flooding, no, kasi pag maraming na flood, pwedeng mag-fall under disaster. Ngayon, how could we mitigate, reduce the impact of a flood? Okay? So, pwede tayong magpatayo ng dike, no, dikes, okay, to control the flow of water. That is a mitigation activities. Okay? What else? Pwede tayong magkaroon ng paghuhukay para lumawak yung daanan ng tubig. That is mitigation. Okay? Yung mga activities na yon, it will mitigate. Okay? It will reduce the impact of disaster. Okay? Yung simple na hindi pagtatapon ng basura doon sa mga ilog, it will reduce flooding. And doon sa simpleng hindi pagtatapon ng basura doon sa mga kalsada, it will reduce flooding. So, that is a mitigation activity. You need to do your part as a student. No? So, we must do our part para mabawasan natin or mitigate the impact of any disaster. Okay? Preparedness. So, refers to the measures taken to predict various emergencies and prepare people to react appropriately during and following such events. So, preparedness or paghahanda. Okay? So, tulad ng na-discuss ko regarding typhoons and earthquakes, kailangan nating paghandaan yung mga yon. Kasi ito yung common na nangyayari sa ating bansa. So, unang-una, we need to identify the needs. Okay? So, such as pag-iimbak ng first aid kit. No, pag-iimbak ng pagkain and other na kailangan. And aside from that, we need to plan our actions and reaction if that disaster will or that hazard will happen. So, napaka-importante yung mga gagawin natin. That is part of preparedness. Okay? On the part of our government, sa DRRM, maraming preparedness campaign na ginagawa nila. No. Ngayon, ang problema, sa part ng mga nasasakupan nila, regarding implementation kasi, madalang lang yung nagko-cooperate regarding preparedness campaign ng mga disaster risk reduction management ng every municipality. So, we need to do our part in terms of preparedness. Okay? Next is response. Okay? Refers to measures taken immediately prior to and following an emergency, such as measures are directed towards saving life, protecting property, and dealing with the immediate damage caused by the disaster response. Or ito yung actual na pagresponde sa actual na disaster natin or emergency. No, for example, there is a typhoon. Nagkaroon ng flood. So, yung rescue operation, that is a response. Okay? Yung relief, that is also a response. Baka sabihin nyo, wala man silang ginagawa, no? Totally, konti lang kasi yung numbers ng mga DRRM personnel natin. Okay? Marami if you will do your part. Okay? In terms of response. Okay? So we need to equip ourselves in responding in any type of emergency. So hindi kailangan, no, hindi kailangan you are physically fit, mentally fit, no. Dapat alam mo lang sa part mo kung anong gagawin mo in the event of emergencies, no. Mababawasan yung trabaho ng mga responders natin or sa part ng DRRM natin. Okay? Next is rehabilitation. No. Rehabilitation refers to measures taken to restore affected communities, areas to their proper or normal level of functioning or actual condition prior to the occurrence of the disaster or calamity. No. Pag sinabi nating rehabilitation programs, no, if in case may binahang area, nasira yung bahay, no, may mga rehabilitation program, okay? So example ko na lang sa amin doon sa Rosales, no. There is a rehabilitation program during after Pepeng wherein na wipe out yung mga naninirahan sa dike. So nilipat nila sa ibang lugar and binigyan ng bagong bahay para makapag-coop up sila sa nangyari sa kanila. Okay? The effect of typhoons or flooding. Okay? Next is disaster risk. Is the probability or harmful consequence or expected losses in terms of death, injuries, properties, livelihoods, economic activity, or damage to the environment resulting from interaction between natural or human-induced hazards and vulnerable condition. Okay? So, eto, yung mga pwede mawala during human pag tumama si hazard na natural or human. No? Ano ba yung disaster risk? No? Ito yung probability na pwedeng tamaan sila ng disaster. Okay? So, for example, in terms of disaster risk, no, ang hanap buhay mo nasa ilog. Okay, sa tingin nyo, may risk ba yun o wala? Ang sagot doon, there is a risk. For example, there is a typhoon. And automatically, there is a typhoon, there is a flood. So, pag may flood, syempre, nasa river lang yung business mo. So, pwedeng ano rin. So, that is a risk. Okay? Next, hazard. No. Means a potential damaging physical event, phenomenon, or human activities which may cause the loss of life or injury, property, damage, social and economic disruption, or environmental degradation. No. So, hazard. Ano ba yung mga hazard natin? Okay? So, hazard. Meron tayong man-made, meron tayong natural hazard. No. Example of natural hazard. Okay? Earthquake, typhoons. Okay? Yang mga yan is hazard. No. Common yung mga yan dito sa Pilipinas, natural hazard, the earthquake and typhoon. So, eto, pag hindi na-address, it will lead to disaster. Okay? How about doon sa natawag nating man-made or human-induced hazard? Pag sinabi nating human-induced hazard, there is the intervention of men, okay? Such as terrorism, bombings, okay? That will fall under human-induced hazard. Okay? For example, yung sa, ano ba yun? Yung mga events tulad ng concerts, okay, we're in. Nagkaroon ng malaking loss, no? Or hindi nila alam kung paano i-address if there is a emergency, nagkakaroon ng stampede, hindi na-anticipate yung event organizer, yung pagdagsa ng tao, okay, that is an hazardous, that will fall under human-induced hazard. I think that is, ano ba yun, Wawawi or something, program na nagkaroon ng stampede and maraming apektado. Okay? So, that is hazard. No? So, yung mga hazard na yan, nandyan, nakakalat lang. For example, nakatira ka sa gilid ng kalsada. Anong hazard mo doon? Okay? Ang hazard mo doon is tendency, yung mga sasakyan pwedeng ma-aksidente at pumunta doon sa bahay mo or mabangga yung bahay mo. That is a hazard. Okay? Anything that will be or that can damage, okay, that will fall under hazards. Either it can damage your property, it can damage a person or human activity, yung mga yon, okay, that will fall under hazard. Okay? Next is capability. Capability refers to the qualitative assessment of human and material resources. Okay? Capability of every individual or of the government. So, ano ba ang capabilities ng isang government responding emergency? So, doon na tinitingnan yung mga resources niya. Okay? Meron ba siyang sasakyan? Okay? Meron ba silang rescue equipments? Okay? Meron ba silang CCTV? No. Yung mga yon, that is capability. Capacity, okay, refers to the quantitative assessment of human and material. Okay? Example, number, volume, and size. No. Ito naman, yung kayang i-accommodate, no, capacity. Okay? Next, vulnerability is a set of conditions resulting from physical, social, and economic factors which increase susceptibility to losses from the impact of hazards. Okay? The Philippines is very vulnerable in disaster. No. Why? Kasi maraming ang hazard dito sa Pilipinas. No. So, sobrang dami ng hazard and we cannot cope up with that hazard. Okay? For example, poverty rate. Okay? Mas vulnerable ang mga mahihirap kumpara sa mayayaman. Bakit? Yung mayayaman, yung mga may kaya sa buhay, pwedeng magpatayo ng maayos na bahay. Okay? Yung mga mahihirap, they are very susceptible or vulnerable to hazard. Kasi exposed sila. No. Pwede silang magpatayo doon sa gilid ng ilog. So, vulnerability. They are vulnerable to any conditions of hazard. No. So, vulnerable sila kasi nga, wala silang kakayahan. Okay? So, ayong mga yon, yung tinatawag nating vulnerable conditions. Okay? Next is resilience. So, means the ability to withstand the damage caused by disaster, which includes all the factors that allow a community to respond and recover from emergencies. No. Resiliency. Kahit tamaan ng bagyo, no, walang impact kasi resilient, nakakabangon siya agad. Okay? So, ito yung vision ng DRM natin, maging resilient ang bansa natin in any type of disaster. No? Yung mabilis makaahon yung bansa in respect sa mga emergencies. Kahit anong emergencies na tumama sa kanya, mabilis yung pagtayo ng isang lugar o bansa. Example of that is Japan. Okay, they are very resilient. Okay, kahit ilang earthquake, kahit ilang baha or tsunami yung tumama sa kanila, well, nakakabangon sila agad. That is resilient na tinatawag natin. Okay? Next is disaster risk management. It's the process of identifying, analyzing, quantifying probability of losses from disaster in order to undertake preventive or corrective actions. Pag sinabi nating disaster risk management, okay, nagkakaroon muna sila ng risk management. So, ina-identify nila yung possible impact of any disaster. No. For example, pupunta sila sa isang lugar. Okay? Example, sa tabi ng ilog. No. Maraming bahay. So, ang possibility, pag nagkaroon ng flood, tatamaan yung mga bahay. There are two ways na gagawin sa disaster risk management. It's either paalisin yung mga nakatira doon sa tabing ilog, okay, para pag dumating si flood, walang casualties, walang sira, or it's either educate them, okay, regarding the process. No, regarding the process in case there is a rain or typhoon para alam nila kung ano yung gagawin nila. Okay? So, that is disaster risk management. Okay? So, thank you. That's all for my presentation.